I don't care what anybody says, I think this Christmas special from Meghan Markle is just going to be an absolute festive delight for all the wrong reasons. Because when you find out certain bits and pieces and elements of what's going on behind the scenes, you just can see that there are people that are absolutely clueless as to what they're doing to make a programme. Now, in their defence, I would say it must be very difficult when the star, and I use that term loosely, right, is also slightly unhinged, because clearly whatever idea you come up with, they're going to think, well, I'm not doing that, or this isn't what she would do, or whatever. Now, as we know, it's interesting here because Meghan allegedly claims that she had an 80 crew team on the last, sort of season filming of that show. It wasn't true at all. There was never 80 people, but, it sounded good, didn't it, And it's always about pushing the envelope with Meghan, this is what we did and how difficult it was, all that sort of stuff. But here's where it gets fascinating as we push towards the festive season and some of the ideas that apparently could be coming our way. As ever, let me explain. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And as ever, thank you for your time. Welcome one and all brand new subscribers. I'm glad that you've taken the time out to join our wonderful community. Do be cheery with everybody. We're a fun group. And as I often say, it's just about having fun. It's communication. It's about enjoying stuff, taking yourself out a little bit of the day, whatever's going wrong, because boys, there are a lot going wrong in the world, isn't there? Wherever you turn, it's not wise, I think, to click on those stories, though, chums, because I think if you live alone, it can frighten you, It's like getting the brown envelope, isn't it? And you haven't opened it all day. Never open it before you go to bed because you won't sleep. And sometimes it can be something and nothing. So don't allow those negativities to come into your life. It's not worth it. Trust me. Oh, no. I had something the other day and I thought I should never have clicked on that. You know what I mean? And it was one of those long things where you've now got to download the PDF and everything. And you think, what do you do here? Which you'd never started, the sort of thing. They may say the same thing, of course, with Meghan Markle and that festive show for Netflix. It is going to be fun. I mean, it's just going to be fun, right? Because the thing is, nobody knows what they're doing behind the scenes. I mean, they've got all the usual things that they're going to be, decorating the tree and, people coming with lanterns. These are the ideas that come around. I mean, as we all know, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has really sort of cornered that wonderful market for Christmas festivities, wonderful warmth gestures, and the focus, this is the paramount thing, not on her, not on anything else, but just getting it right, That's the whole story, in my opinion. Here's where this gets really interesting though, because one of the ideas is just fascinating. Now think about this. You've been incredibly unkind and rude about all of the former people that used to attend your wedding, right? And in particular, these people, the cast of Suits, which she will utilize at any moment when somebody wants to ask her a burning question on the red carpet. But remember, she couldn't be bothered to go on their podcast because no, she wasn't fussed about that. She didn't have any time, too busy sitting with a squeaky voiced Jamie Kern Lima or whatever, And so you can just see that they're not exactly thrilled. Then, of course, the cast of Suits revealed that Meghan wasn't in the WhatsApp group, so they didn't really know how to get hold of her. She's never reached out to them, all of that sort of stuff. Even when they had that big Super Bowl thing, you would have thought she might have said, congratulations, hope it goes well. Nothing. Didn't involve her, ruthless, right? Now the team who are working on this, and I'm sure many of the team must be just giggling behind the scenes, they've suggested that the door opens and it's the cast of Suits singing a bunch of Christmas carols. Now I can tell you there are one or two people in the cast that would do this simply because they are camera mad. Patrick J. Adams springs to mind. He was a man, of course, who literally ran down the British monarchy, all the while accepting an invitation to the royal wedding on social media. So you see how this works. Now, where this gets interesting, I think, is the fact that it is a nutty idea that, in fact, might just work for the stupidity of it. But according to the source, Meghan has yet to be swayed because obviously those people coming to the door and singing means that she doesn't really have an active role. What would she be doing while they're singing? And she's standing there grinning. Is she serving? Is she cooking something in the kitchen? These are the nutty madcap ideas that are floating around the world of Meghan's Christmas special in order to think that this is the way that you are going to tune in. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were the cast of Suits, I might be suggesting some very strong, prickly ivy, perhaps to offer Christmas cheer just as you enter the door. Either way, this is going to make Mommy Dearest with Joan Crawford seem like a Disney film, if this comes off. It is very funny, you must agree, and at this moment in time, people are tentatively just putting out feelers, a little bit like antlers, to see whether they would be interested. It's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Shaw in the very heart of London.